welcome to City Life. It's really good to have you with us today. Now, we do have our first painting in from the school holidays. Taylor Davidson, 4 years old, has painted us a canvas. So paintings are starting to come in, and I am going to fill the back of our walls with these beautiful pieces of art. Now, today on the program, we talk about issues in New Zealand with addressing family violence, sustainability at the heart of our city's rebuild, the Coca-Cola Careers Expo is coming up soon, and the mentoring program Big Brothers and Big Sisters. But first, Reid from the EQC, good to have you back.
Hi, Kanita.
We've missed you for the last couple of weeks. We sure
away.
have. Now, how's the snow affected EQC for the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, that was pretty tough. Obviously couldn't work, so we've lost a bit of traction because of the snow, but everyone's back on deck now and business as usual.
Okay, and the zones, how are they going? Red's, how's that going?
Yeah, Red's done. Still a few to do in Orange, and really want to encourage people that think they've been missed in those zones to give us a call on 0800 damage. If they have, we'll be round straight away.
All right, White Zone, any update on that?
No, still waiting for some word on that, but we are working closely with engineers where we know it's safe to do repairs. We've got Fletchers doing repairs. Okay.
Now, EQC staffing levels, they dropped away after the February quake, and they've picked up again?
Yeah, we're slowly but surely getting our numbers back up. We lost some local staff after February due to we couldn't be in the building, and then there was some that didn't want to come back into the city, and we lost some of our own people as well, who like a lot of other people were a bit spooked by the earthquakes.
Okay, so things are back up and running again?
Yeah, and we plan to lift those numbers a little bit more from the people that we've had here in the past that took some time out. Okay. Really focused on getting through these claims by Christmas.
All right. Now, as promised, we always have a couple of viewers' questions to fire at you. So, question one. I've been out of work since February and my husband has had his hours reduced, so we're finding it hard as we're paying mortgage and rent, plus we have had to replace some of our things on our credit cards. I got told that claims were being processed faster only if you had a need for medical equipment. The person I spoke to also said that we were supposed to wait until our claim was processed until we made any replacements, and that a television was not necessary, yet our insurance told us to go ahead and replace things if we could. Our claim is in order, complete with insurance certificate, photographs, quotes, etc. My question is, are they sorting out claims in categories, i.e. all forms completed and in order, forms missing, insufficient information, or just taking the next one from the pile?
First in, first served. So if you were the first person to lodge your claim, hopefully we've settled that in terms of contents, and then we will work through the claims as they've been received. Look, in terms of replacing items, happy for people to do that, but they need to remember that it's like for like. So if you had a 42-inch TV, you can't go and get a 50. So really important around that. And look, we are keen to help those people that are in need. So the vulnerability test that we apply to everything applies here. And if we know, we can help. If we don't, we can't. So if you've got an issue, please ring 0800 damage. Be really specific about it, and then we'll get some action for you.
All right. I have been classed as a green zone property from EQC, however I have a spring that pops up out of the ground in earthquakes. This spring arises in different spots and it runs for up to 2 days at a time. As you can imagine, this causes a lot of flooding. I dig trenches for the water to flow out of my property. Twice this has caused sinkholes in my backyard. I've attached some pictures. My question is, how can I sell my property as a green zoned property when it has problems with the land? I've tried unsuccessfully to contact Sarah, no one returns my calls. What can I do?
Okay, green zone, there will be some land damage that we need to settle, but springs specifically, we do have a team dedicated to springs, led by a pretty experienced guys, so we'd be happy to get the details and follow up on that. And again, through the green zone, there will be land damage issues that EQC have to address, and that will be by way of settlement or repair if they're small. So, yeah, we've got a bit of work to do there as well. Okay.
There has been some very bad flooding since last September due to the ground slumping, and last week the road gang arrived to do the repairs. It took 3 days to complete, but we still have the same problem. Who's being held accountable for this work?
For the roads or for the land?
It says for the roads.
Well, that's a council issue, really. Nothing. EQC only cover residential property, so all the roads, really need to contact the City Council, I would have thought.
Okay, and I've got a question myself.
Okay.
My sister has had a baby. She has contacted the EQC/EQR for the home heating help.
Yep.
They've lost their main source of heating, which was a fire, a gas fire. They were in conversation with them up until May. When the conversation stopped over email, she kept emailing them back. Still no help. They've got a brand new baby, less than a week old. They're living out of one room now because that's the only room that's got the heating. What are you doing to help her?
Well, really disappointed to hear that communication stopped, so I'd like to follow up on that for a start. But certainly, if there are heating issues, we want to help. Your sister falls right into the category that we want to ensure are warm through the winter. Look, Fletchers have completed over 9,000 installations. And they're continuing to install, but where people are vulnerable, we really do want to help. So it's 0800 damage Canada, and we will follow up. If I know, I'll follow up on your sister personally, make sure that happens. But for other people in the community, if you've got a neighbour or a sister, please ring us. We can't help if we don't know.
I mean it's easy for her because she's got me to be her advocate,
right.
But other people out there who don't have me to help them,
Yep.
Are you helping them?
Yes, we are. But if the communication breaks down, they need to come back through our 0800 damage, or they need to make a complaint via the website, and then we can follow up. But if they get stoic about it and sit at home and don't tell us, then we can't help. Really happy to help.
All right, Reid, I'm going to chat with you next week about that one.
Okay.
Okay, and anything else? What's the latest with EQC this week?
Hey, things are going really well. Inspections charging ahead. We're into the moderate damage, so we should see an increase in the number that we're doing because the damage is less, quicker to get through. We've paid out over $1.2 billion in claims, so that averages out to about $3 million a day that we've paid since we started this gig, so to speak. So, yeah, things are going really well.
Okay, all right, let's catch up with you next week.
And I'll sort your sister.
Good on you. Okay, thank you.
Okay, mate.
Now back with us on City Life is Nicola from the Christchurch Women's Refuge. Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me back.
Now tell me about the study, this latest study from the OECD.
Yeah, there's a couple of reports that have come out recently. Most recently, the OECD report on domestic violence places at the top of the League of Domestic Violence. Significantly, the report identified that a third of Kiwi women experienced domestic violence sometime between 2000 and 2010. And this very shocking statistic sits alongside another really shocking fact, which is that every 5 weeks a Kiwi woman is killed by her partner or her ex-partner. So the statistics are very, very shocking. What's even more shocking, I think, in a way, is that this isn't news for us. We've been at the top of the league table of domestic violence for a long time now. But we seem somehow to be wanting to avoid the conversation as a society, as a nation, and it's really important that we have that conversation. Now, alongside that statistic of a third of women experiencing domestic violence between 2000 and 2010, we know that a quarter of children have been reported by the Ministry of Social Development as witnessing family violence in their lifetime. And this sits alongside the statistic of over 47,000 Kiwi children either witnessing domestic violence last year or living in a house where police were called to an incident of domestic violence. Now, we know that that's actually only the tip of the iceberg. We know that most incidents of family violence don't result in a police call-out. So, child witnessing of family violence in this country is very large, and it has an impact on the development of our society.
Why on earth do we rank so highly?
That's a very, very good question, and I don't know yet, actually, specifically if we have an answer to that. There are a whole range of factors that contribute to family violence. Some at a macro level, economic factors have an influence. We know that poverty is related to domestic violence, but it certainly doesn't cause domestic violence. We know that alcohol is associated with domestic violence, but in itself, again, it doesn't cause domestic violence. We live, in a beautiful country. We call it God's own. But these figures don't sit alongside. I think our national identity doesn't sit comfortably with the Kiwi brand, and I think that there is a bit of a national desire to disassociate from the facts, to not have that difficult conversation, as I say, but we do have to have that conversation.
Now, you say it's a third of women experience violence. Are these the ones that are reported, or is this a number that is assumed?
In the OECD study, these are the results of surveys with women. So it doesn't necessarily reflect all of the incidents of family violence because there may be an underreporting. But in the study that was undertaken with 14 OECD countries, women in New Zealand were far more likely than women in other countries to report experiences of domestic violence.
Let's look at the comparison now from in the 1970s when the Refuge was started.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
It's got worse. The problem has got worse. I mean, New Zealand, led the way internationally in responding to domestic violence. Christchurch Women's Refuge was the second refuge in the world to be set up. And I think that, that's something to be proud of, the fact that there was a responsible response to domestic violence. But that response, in a way, hasn't been sustained to the same level of the growth of domestic violence in this country. We have seen the incidence of domestic violence grow, and we need to ensure that we develop our national strategic response to that growth in domestic violence in the medium to longer term.
OK, what is being done to help women in these situations?
Well, there are a number of refuges available for women around the country. In Christchurch alone, we have 5 safe houses. There are 5 independent safe houses for women. Christchurch Women's Refuge, together with the other refuge services within Canterbury, offer a range of community services as well. So there are a number of options, but certainly our experience in Christchurch Women's Refuge is that the demand for service is very much exceeding our ability to respond as quickly as we would like to be able to do.
OK. So what do you say to those women who can't be helped at the moment?
Well, we always do offer help wherever we possibly can. There have been occasions recently when it's not been possible to invite a woman into our safe house because it's been full. There are occasions when it's not possible for a woman to come into our safe house for a range of reasons. So we will talk over the phone with her to support her in developing what we would call a safety plan. Okay. So there are a number of things that we can do, but what I will say, and this is really, really critical, and this is not new, our ability to support women who are living with domestic violence alongside an alcohol problem or a mental health problem is really not good enough. And everybody acknowledges that that's a real problem. It's an enormous gap in our services. And we've seen that area of need grow significantly since the earthquake. Most days now, we receive phone calls from a number of women who are living with domestic violence, but who are unable to come into our safe house or other safe houses across Canterbury because they aren't able to respond to the fact that the woman might have an alcohol dependency or a related mental health problem. And it's really, really important that we develop services that respond effectively to women who have these more complex coexisting problems alongside family violence. It's critical that these issues are addressed within the context of family violence, because if the alcohol issue is addressed on its own or the mental health issue is addressed on its own, the woman will return to the situation of family violence, and we'll see the cycle repeated.
OK. Women who are watching this and who need help, how can they get in touch with you?
They can call us at 0800 1 Refuge. Our crisis line operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and they will speak when they call to a trained and qualified person that will be able to advise them. All
right, Nicola, thanks for coming on the programme.
Thanks very much.
After the break, we catch up with Raf from TEDxEQChChh. You're back with City Life, and it's great to have Raf from TEDxEQChChh back on the program. Good to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
Now, tell me about this TEDx salon event.
Yeah, basically, the salon is an event that you hold in between the larger TED events. And it's designed to keep the community together, keep people interested, keep people energised, and create the energy that takes you forward to the next big event.
So tell me about the event. What happened?
Yeah, we held it last night. at a bar in Riccarton, the only place that we could find to hold over 100 people. And what we do is we show some videos. We showed 4 videos last night, and in between the videos we have an open mic so that people who have any projects going on that are worth talking about can come and give some information about that. And we allow people to network. And I mean, and that's one of the most important things about the event. It's keeping the people together, allowing new people to come who hadn't come to the original TEDxEQChChCh. And I think there were 700 people there, a lot of people couldn't come who wanted to come. So last night it was great to see a lot of new people who hadn't been to the main event. So they got to see some videos, got to talk about them, got to meet each other, and yeah, it was a very energizing evening. And what was great, we had people from a wide range of backgrounds. There was a wonderful couple there in their mid-80s who had just heard about it and thought that they were really interested in this, and they came along and they sat up on a sofa, and talking to them was really great because they said, it's really important for older people to be involved, and they were interested, and they wanted to participate, so that was quite exciting. Tell
me about some of the ideas that came up last night.
Last night was really, I guess if I had to look for one word to describe it, it was about connection. And I think for what we're going through at the moment, connection is really important. There were lots of different aspects about it. They were talking about vulnerability. They were talking about, if you had the opportunity, what would you do? If you had a month to live, or what is holding you back from fulfilling your dreams? There was another talk about making a difference in somebody's life. Not waiting until you've got $1 million or more, or that your life is set. Just do it today. If you can make one thing happen for somebody, just do it now. It was by a fireman who'd done some amazing heroic activity of rescuing a pair of shoes from a burning house and giving them to this woman standing out in her nightdress on a rainy pavement. And she was just so overwhelmed by that small gesture. And he was just saying, look, small things make a big difference. And then the final talk was about apathy. And that really, people do want to be involved, people do want to be engaged, but often there are lots of obstacles put in the way, and a lot of that is around communication. And I think where we are in terms of the earthquake, communication has been a big issue. And I guess, the message for the authorities is that, keep communicating with people, keep it open, keep it simple, and allow people the opportunity to engage because they really want to.
Were you happy with the response last night to the turnout and what was talked
absolutely,
about?
Because it was the first one we held, and we just got together, the organising team, and thought, okay, we want to keep this thing going. What should we do? So we only set this up about 6 weeks ago, and it's only been 10 weeks since the initial conference, and yeah, we had over 100 people, and I think next time we'll probably have more. But what was great about it is that people really enjoyed it. It was very relaxed, so people don't have to worry. You just come along, watch some videos, talk to some people. We had a kind of a speed networking thing after one of the talks, and yeah, I think people were very excited about it.
As you say, you had the TEDxEQChChCh event 10 weeks ago. What's the response been since then from that event?
It's been fantastic. A lot of great things have come out of the event. A lot of the speakers were very excited, and they've gone back, and a lot of people are still very engaged. So Art Agnos, for example, is still communicating with people here in Christchurch. He's seeing the EQC people, the Treasury people up in Wellington. He recently showed Nikki Wagner around San Francisco when she was over there. So that connection is still very strong. Marcus Spiller entertained the councillors when they went over to Melbourne. Paul Downton and Karen Blinko have put forward proposals for urban ecology and design schools in Christchurch, and I think that's going to be very exciting. Grant Schofield's doing some great work on healthy children, so I mean that's really enabled that project to come fruition. So I mean there's a lot going on, and it's heartening to see that has kind of kick-started a lot of great projects. Coralie Wynne at Gap Filler just received a grant for $100,000, so that's proceeding. So out of this, a lot of new projects are coming, and I think also people are starting to come forward and realise, well, actually, I've got an idea, I can make it happen.
Yeah, through TEDx and just their ideas as well.
That's right, because that's what it's all about. It's all about ideas. So people don't have to worry, it's just about, okay, have I got an idea? Why don't I talk about it? And you never know, some things just happen.
Exactly. All right, what's coming up next with TEDx?
Okay, well, we'll hold another event, probably in 6 weeks to 2 months. It'll have a different theme. I think the theme will be more focused on the city plan. The city plan is going to be presented, I think, towards the end of August. So people will have some time to have a look at that. So that's probably what the theme will be around. Okay. And we just encourage people, just come along. It's a night out. It's an opportunity to meet some people you don't know, and just participate.
All right. How do we find out more? Is it TEDxEQChCh?
That's right. Have a look at the website, TEDxEQChCh.com. Okay. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and just keep up with it, yeah.
Cool, Raf, really good to have you on the program
Thanks
again.
very much.
All right, after the break, the petition that is putting sustainability at the heart of the Christchurch rebuild. You're back with City Life, and my next guest has started a petition for Christchurch. Now, Lou, tell me about your petition.
Petition was very much a grassroots initiative. I'm a mother of 2 small children, not a political activist of any kind. And about 6 weeks after the February earthquake, after the dust had settled and the shock had worn off to some degree, I just had a very strong feeling that there was an amazing opportunity ahead for our city, if we can grasp it. We know that around the world there are some big challenges coming with rising prices of food and fuel. Climate change and peak oil being the drivers of those changes. And my sense was that if we have to rebuild anyway, we have an opportunity here to rebuild a city that's more resilient for those future challenges, and that'll be better for our population.
So the idea behind it was to have a sustainable city, or to encourage the rebuild to be sustainable, is that right?
Both, yes, right. Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
And you pulled 5,000 signatures together?
Yes.
Tell me how you did this.
The petition was lodged with an online petition hosting website called change.org. And that's an internationally kind of recognised website for hosting petitions. So I basically sent it out to 50 people in my address book, and it went from there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why sustainability?
As I was saying earlier, we know that there are going to be some very big challenges. We have some responsibilities and some challenges coming. Our responsibilities are to minimise our contribution to global warming. I think we all recognise that. So sustainable ways of living are ways of living that recognise that we must be careful about that issue, and we have a responsibility. We need to recognise in New Zealand that actually other parts of the world are probably going to suffer worse from climate change than we are. That doesn't mean we don't have a responsibility. Here in Christchurch, we're going to face definitely challenges from more severe weather events and storms, and from sea level rise. That's going to be a big one. And as I understand it, the council are currently planning for about a 50 to 60 centimetre sea level rise. But the data now are very, very clear that we can expect at least a metre by the end of the century. Okay. So that's kind of important. So I think there's that kind of moral reason for thinking about sustainability, but there's also huge benefits for our population and for the local area and the economy in the region if we become more sustainable.
What does a sustainable city look like?
I think it's not about doing lots of different things. It's about doing what we do differently. It's about better transport systems that are more integrated. There's better public transport. People can get across the city without using cars so much. That's going to save fuel, and fuel is going to become very expensive, let alone the fact that it contributes to global warming. So good transport systems is definitely part of sustainability. Better buildings, more energy efficient buildings. They're better to live in, they're better to work in, people are more productive, people are healthier. And of course, they save energy and water, and therefore that's good for the environment. Okay. So lots of things.
Yeah, how would you at the moment encourage people to live a sustainable life in Christchurch right now?
Right now, I think it's about just thinking about what we do. I mean, we've got a great recycling scheme. The council has done some great initiatives already towards sustainability. So, it's about thinking consciously about what we're doing. So you can maximise your recycling, you can minimise your use of unnecessary road journeys, maximise your use of public transport, get out and enjoy the natural environment. We might have some devastation here, and that's not to underestimate that some people are living in very, very difficult circumstances currently, but we do have a great natural environment around and about the city and within it in places.
So. Now, you've presented this petition to Roger Sutton from Sarah.
Yes.
What did he say?
He was very positive. I think there's a lot of support for sustainability, not just within Sarah, but wider out through the community, as the petition shows. I think the interesting question is going to be how willing people are in the administration to think a little more creatively And it's about getting well informed about the sorts of sustainable solutions that are out there, because there are many sustainable solutions. Cities all around the world have come up with great ways to incentivise green building and to move the whole thing forwards. So I think it's about people being more open to creative solutions towards sustainability.
Okay, what's next for you?
Well, one of the things I'm doing at the minute is I've got to present the petition to Jerry Brownlee. That's the next thing.
Okay.
So Jerry Brownlee's next, and then the presenting of the petition is done. But beyond that, I'm working now with a really lovely group called Sustainable Otatahi Christchurch, who've been around a long time, and they've got some great folks, and they're part of Sustainable Aotearoa New Zealand, so hoping to support their work and move things forwards.
We've had them on the program as well, so maybe we'll get you both to come on the program next time.
That'd be great.
Yeah, Lou, really good to have you here.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this break. You're back with City Life, and I'd like to welcome back to the program Lynnette from Careers New Zealand. Good to have you here.
Hi, how are you?
Now, I'm pretty sure that last time you were from Careers Services. What's going on?
Well, the last time I spoke on that very day, we actually changed our name.
Oh, okay.
And we've changed our name to Careers New Zealand. And we've done that because it really focuses people on the fact that Careers New Zealand is the leading provider of career information, advice and guidance in the New Zealand context.
Sounds good.
New name.
New name, yeah. Now, you've got an expo coming up. Tell me about this.
There is an expo. The expo is the Coca-Cola Expo. It's an annual event in Christchurch. This year it's going to be on Monday and Tuesday, August the 8th and 9th, with free admission. We had this horrible sinking feeling earlier in the year when in fact it's normally held earlier, but it was cancelled. But it has been reborn this year at this time of the year, and Careers New Zealand is one of the major partners for the expo. And this year there's added dimensions. The dimensions this year is more in tune with the rebuild needs for Christchurch. So while the expo will still provide all of the training providers, all the tertiary institutions, universities, polytechs, etc., they'll all be there as they are normally. Careers New Zealand will have a stall devoted to helping young people make those sorts of decisions and picking things up. But we're also this year, in response to the needs of Christchurch, we have put together another stall, another unit, which will be focused solely on helping job seekers.
Okay.
So that focus is about making sure that they've got the right information, helping them come to decisions. So there'll be myself and a couple of others will be working one-on-one if people need that during the expo, and helping them with what do they want to do, how do they want to go, and if they're wanting job search advice, etc., we'll be able to help them with that.
Now tell me, what exactly happens at an expo? I don't think I've been to one before.
Well, you must
not
come.
a careers one. I don't need a new career.
Between 9 and 3 on Monday the 8th, and then again from 5 to 7 on Monday the 8th, and on Tuesday it will be between 9 and 2. But at a Careers Expo, you get all these cool people come and build little booths, which are populated by people from various universities, polytechnics, any area that is involved in providing decision-making courses, training, or examples of particular occupations, so that the young people are able to equip themselves with the right stuff to make decisions further on in the year. Loads of activities, loads of information, really skilled people to talk to. For example, this year there is an alliance of 8 trades-related industry training organisations, and they've come together into a unit called BETA, VETA, and they're all going to be there this year to help anybody, job seekers and young people, look at the longer term needs for the rebuild of Christchurch. So it's exciting. It's exciting.
How important is it to incorporate both the school leavers and the people who are looking for job seekers at the moment?
At the moment, we've always had job seekers coming who have been looking at career change. They've always been part of the expo. With the Chamber of Commerce suggesting that we're going to be the hub of rebuild and construction for 5 years and onwards, there is a huge need for skilled trades. Some numbers I looked at the other day, suggest 30,000 skilled people in trades and allied construction and allied industries will be needed for the rebuild of Christchurch, and that's above and beyond normal everyday business.
So are there courses for these sort of skilled workers?
There are
enough courses?
There's all sorts of work being done behind the scenes to ensure there is good structure, good pathways, that the trades are going to burgeon in terms of training within Christchurch. So Careers New Zealand is really keen, and we're doing quite a lot behind the scenes as well to ensure that we play our part in that.
Okay.
And one of the tools, I think I spoke to you about that last time, we talked about on our website, www.careers.govt.nz, we have a part of our website dedicated to job seekers in Christchurch.
Okay.
And there's a fabulous tool in there, an online tool called Canterbury Job Matcher.
Okay.
So people can go in with their skills and select skills they currently have. It suggests job ideas, and those job ideas link immediately to Trade Me job vacancies.
Oh, really?
So that will be at the Expo on Monday and Tuesday.
Right. So the Coca-Cola Careers Expo 8th and 9th of August, Addington Raceway?
At the CBS
Canterbury
Arena
okay.
in Addington.
And 9 till 3 on Monday, and then again from 5 till 7.
Yes.
And then 9 till 2 on Tuesday, and it's free entry.
Absolutely, and we'd love to see as many people as possible come and visit.
Lynnette, really good to have you on the programme today.
Thank you.
Now here's Jeff Morton.
An old friend of City Life has returned, and it's Kathy.
Hi,
Kathy,
Jeff.
how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Kathy from Cohen's Lifestyle, which makes you feel better, which makes you look better. You're looking incredible.
Oh, still. Yeah,
absolutely.
It works, it stays off.
Tell me all about Cohen's Lifestyle.
Well, Cohen's Lifestyle Clinic is new to New Zealand, so I've brought it to New Zealand. It's been here 3 years now. I did the program through a clinic in Sydney, and I lost 40 kilos in 21 weeks, and then everyone wanted to know what I did. So I ended up on the phone talking to them and telling them how to do it while they were doing it with clinics overseas, and I thought, well, this is a bit silly, maybe New Zealand needs one. And they do.
So it's a medical solution and a food solution rather than just, say, knocking some off your plate.
Completely natural hormone balancing system. So the basis of the program is that your hormones are out of balance, and that's what's causing either the weight gain or your body to stop losing the way it should. Like my sister-in-law, she can eat what she likes, and she always has, and she's never changed her weight. But I had these ups and downs, and I was all over the place. So when I realised that it was a hormone problem, it wasn't about calories or the amount of exercise I did. The weight just fell off. So it's just a natural weight loss solution. Dr. Cohen works out exactly how much protein and carbohydrate you need from a blood test.
Right.
And then we help you at the clinic just go through your program and get to the end of it where he starts to increase your food back to normal, and then you shouldn't be dieting after that.
So take me through the steps. The first thing is you come along for a consultation.
Come into the clinic for a free presentation. So we'll show you exactly and talk to you about the biology and what it's based on and how long Cohen's has been around, because it's been around for 30 years.
Right.
Dr. Cohen was a fertility specialist originally.
Yes. Yep.
So we go through all of that background and tell you exactly what's going to happen. So there's no surprises.
Right.
And then you can make an informed decision about whether you want to do it or not.
So then the next step is you get a blood test, is that right?
You get a blood test done, and your program will arrive from Dr. Cohen, and we'll go through it with you in a 30-minute consultation at the clinic.
Now, Dr. Cohen, is he based in New Zealand or?
No, he did his medical training in South Africa, and he started the clinics in South Africa. He's in the States now, but there are 55 clinics around the world which he looks after from there. So we've got 3 in New Zealand, one in Central Otago, one in Christchurch, and now we've got one in Auckland as well. Right.
So then the blood test comes back, and what specifically do they look at in the blood?
Well, he doesn't tell us how he works it out.
Right.
But I do know that he's giving you a liver test and a kidney function test, a glucose level test, just to figure out exactly how much protein and carbohydrate your body needs, keep your sugar levels stable. So it's all very simple biology, but one size does not fit all, because I've done a lot of diets over the years. And nothing's worked. Nothing has ever worked like this has.
Right. So now then the blood test comes back, and then you tailor the individual program for the...
Everybody's program is different.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kathy, the food, I believe, is not special
No, it's just normal
diets
healthy food.
or shakes or anything like that? It's what you
No pills, no shakes, no pre-packaged meals. There's no exercise even. So, I mean, I was running for an hour a day before I did the program, so that was a little bit hard to get my head around, but it's a relief because I didn't like it. So it's just normal food, I mean, steak and chicken and anything else that you're probably used to having anyway.
But what it might say is that, for instance, if it was me, it might say, right, you don't eat steak, you only have chicken.
Well, you can choose.
Okay.
The specifics are how much you can have of whatever it is that you're wanting.
Right.
So it's like a medication. He's treating your food like it's a medicine.
Okay. So is it the proportions or the quality of the food?
No,
or
just the quantities,
the
really.
quantities.
So everybody needs a different amount of something rather than everyone having the same amount.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in other words, with this particular program, there's no injections.
No.
There's no tonics.
No.
There's no pills.
No.
And there's no manic exercising.
No exercising if you don't want to do it. No, absolutely not.
All right, well, I'm amazed. Let's just quickly look at the before and after shots. So that's you?
That's me before.
And how much did you lose?
I lost 40 kilos in 21 weeks. So that's 21 weeks
And
later.
That's you after 21 weeks?
Yeah, yeah. So the main thing you really need to do the program is water, your program, and a credit card because you spend a lot of time shopping.
Right. Okay, as you downsize.
Yeah.
Hey, look, thank you so much. And those results are amazing. So that's Cohen's Lifestyle Clinic. You'll find them at 391 Durham Street North in Christchurch. Your free phone is 0800 26 43 67 or look them up on lifestyle.co.
Welcome back. This is Mathew from Big Brothers Big Sisters. Now tell me about Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Yeah, Big Brothers Big Sisters has been around for over 100 years, believe it or not, and Christchurch only for about 8 years. But the idea behind Big Brothers Big Sisters is basically we recognise a whole lot of young people in our city. They need good role models, people they can look up to, and for one reason or another, a whole lot of those young people don't have those role models. So our role is to go out in the community, find volunteers who can come in and take on that role for a young person.
Okay, and what sort of things do you do? You just hang out and go to movies, or?
Yeah, look, absolutely. I guess one of the things that we've identified just recently is there's, in Christchurch, a whole lot of people not having enough fun. You know, fun's just something that we don't talk about a lot at the moment. And so Big Brothers Big Sisters is all about fun, and we're about trying to create fun times for young people so that they can have some great childhood memories, that they can look back on their childhood and go, you know, I did this great thing. You know, we went out to the Waimak with my mentor and we hung out at the river, or we went mountain biking, whatever it was. In terms of what our volunteers do with the young people, go to the movies. Baking's a real favourite. Look, just cooking, you know, Nana's chocolate cake recipe together, or learning how to knit, playing the guitar, whatever it is. Just Lego's another hit too. You know, just just doing fun things. Yeah.
So how old are the Big Brothers Big Sisters, and how old are the people they're mentoring as well?
Yeah, sure. I think sometimes when people hear Big Brothers Big Sisters, they think, oh, is it literally just like people who are a little bit older than the children? But actually, we cover the lifespan. So 18, our volunteers have to be at least 18, and then right through. I mean, you can imagine someone who's 21, 22 might be seen as a big brother or a big sister, but someone who's 40 or 50 might be seen as an uncle or an auntie, and someone who's 60 or 70 is like another grandparent. And and they all have a really special part to play, no matter which age they are, with the young people, yeah.
How many Big Brothers Big Sisters do you have in Christchurch?
At the moment we've got 80, and so we're, as with a lot of organisations, I guess after the quakes, we've had quite a few people move out of town and that sort of thing. So we've got a bit of capacity at the moment to take on a whole lot of new volunteers, and I guess our goal is to, you know, we've got an endless list of young people who need a mentor. In other words, we have parents, schools ringing us up regularly saying, man, we've just got so many young people who would benefit from this. And so our role is to go and find the volunteers to match that, yeah. What would make an ideal mentor? Oh, an ideal mentor. It's a very good question. I think that first and foremost, I guess, coming from thinking of it from a child's point of view, the most important thing is that that child can rely on that adult. So that mentor needs to be reliable. They need to be someone who can consistently say, yep, I'm actually going to come and see you once a week. I'm not going to just do it whenever I feel like it, but I can commit to doing it that often. So reliability. But look, the next thing is just the ability to be young and have fun again. You know, I mean, this is the great thing about it, is actually you kind of, as an adult, getting involved in this mentoring thing. You're having fun again. You're doing like getting back into the Lego. As I said, you know, that's great to get back to Lego. You're like, yeah, I remember when I was young, I used to play with Lego. It's so much fun. Or going for a walk on the hills, or whatever it might be. You've got to have that ability to have a bit of fun and a bit of a sense of humour as well. So yeah.
Do the Big Brothers Big Sisters have training? Yeah,
it's fairly minimal training. Our thing is that mentoring is such a basic concept. It's about saying someone like you getting matched up with a young person and saying, look, you could build a relationship with this young person. You've probably got other relationships in your life, other children that you've related to before. We're not going to teach you how to do that. We're going to give you some boundaries and work through some basic kind of training to get you underway. But really trust the fact that you can do this, and because we really believe that. We don't think there's a mentor is not like a specified kind of role. We've got mentors right through our society already who aren't part of our organisation. We've got brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, sports coaches, teachers, you name it, youth workers, all that. They're all there, and so we're going to believe that you can do it as well. Okay, so does each mentor just have one young person with them? That's the idea. I mean, I think that the really important thing about this is that that young person knows they're special. You know, that they're worth the time that one adult can give them, and so the real goal is to have one adult, so that young person can know, yeah, that's my mentor, and that's exactly what they like when you talk to the young people. You say to them, what do you think about mentoring? And they say, oh, I really love it, and they really love to talk about their mentor and how cool they are. Cool. All right. So the ideal person is someone who has time. Yes. Who can relate to young people. Yeah. And who has a sort of sense of fun, or just, you know, teaching them things or spending time with them, I suppose. Really basic, we don't have any agenda about trying to teach kids anything in particular other than teaching them how to respect themselves and to value themselves. And often that's just the message that you convey by spending the time with them week by week, turning up. That's the key thing. In fact, a lot of the people who come on board to do this don't necessarily feel like they're the right person to do it. They don't feel like they don't know whether they relate very well to children, but actually they do. It's just that's often more about their own confidence and self-belief. And I think, again, when you think about the young people, if we think about young people perhaps out the east side of Christchurch at the moment who have, I guess, you know, their parents are so busy just trying to keep the house in order, or you know, block up this part of the house, or keep the house warm, and there's a lot of tension and pressure in the household. There's just not the time to have fun, and so that's what anyone can actually do. That any volunteer could come and just pick that kid up once a week, take them for an outing, have a bit of fun, and give both the family a break, but also give that young person something to really look forward to. Yeah. That sounds like a really good thing to do. Yeah. All right, how can people get in touch with you? Yeah, look, the best thing, we would like to work kind of relationally in the way we do things, so we don't really just want to send people out forms and get them to go for it. We really want to meet up with people who are keen to do it. Yeah. So we do ask them to either give us a call. I've got a phone number, 358 4019, and I've got a website too, which has quite a bit more information. Okay. Bit of a bulky website, but www.bbschch. .co.nz. So that's BBSCHCH, so it's Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Chcha.co.nz. Thank you. Yes, that's all right, Matthew, really good to have you on the program today. Great. Thank you. Cheers. Finally on the program, Stephanie Rumble from Flair Image, here to talk about dressing for casual dressing in a fun way. Yes, absolutely. I find people come to me and say, I don't know how to do dressy casual, especially people who work in a corporate environment or are at work all the time. They have really good work wardrobe, but they're not sure how to take it down a notch. Or the people who are at home all the time and always in the garden, or, you know, cleaning or whatever, and they want, or hanging out with their kids, they want that next level of smartness. So I've kind of tried to cover the spectrum so that we can talk a little bit about that. All right, which garments, I guess, are unsuitable for dressy casual? Okay, stubbies. Okay, they should just be ruled out. Yeah. Except for when you're painting the house or something. Yeah, or playing rugby. Yeah. Tracksuit pants. You know, any sportswear type clothing, so things like, you know, zip-up sportswear things, they're not dressy casual, they're for playing rugby or for playing sport or for doing something sporty. And then clothes with holes in them that are really out of date, they're really good for things like gardening or cleaning the toilet.
Well, what if they look funky? What if it's like a funky hoodie?
Oh, well, if it's a funky hoodie, that's very different. But if it's a, if it's a sporty hoodie with the emblem of your sports club on it, that's fantastic. But wear it to your sports club meet rather than out for dinner with your mates.
Oh, okay, right. Well, actually, we should probably talk about where you would wear dressy casual as well.
Okay, so dressy casual is when you're perhaps going out in the evening and it's not a formal event, so maybe going out with your friends or going out for dinner, or going out for lunch somewhere, or just hanging out in something a little more than at home or at work. So you might be heading out in the afternoon to go shopping, or as a guy might be going out with your mates to have a drink. It's really that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference between dressy casual and smart casual?
Okay, probably not a lot. Same words really. I would interchange the words. Smart casual, dressy casual, same thing.
Okay, cool.
So you look at very casual or sportswear.
Yeah.
Then you've got the smart casual. Then you've got the work structured workwear, and then you have formal wear.
Okay. What's semi-formal then?
Semi-formal is more cocktail, so you do have semi-formal in between those two levels.
Okay.
So things like a shorter dress if you're going to a cocktail party or a party. As formal's the long dress and the black tie.
Okay, all right. So what are the key garments that we'd buy for a dressy casual
Okay,
look?
so if you want to achieve dressy casual, and I'll be really honest, it's one of the challenges I have personally, because I'm really happy dressing up, but I've just had 3 weeks with my children at home, so I've been really exploring this dressy casual concept.
Okay.
I've lived in my jeans. So buy a really good pair of jeans that fit you well, that you like. Shop around. If you don't get them the first time, go back again.
Okay.
Glassons does good jeans, so does Max, so does Farmers, so does Just Jeans. If you want to go up a level, you can head into some of the more expensive stores and look at G-Star and some of the higher end brands.
Okay.
So really good, nice pair of jeans that suit your body type. Don't just go for the latest trend.
Right.
Like if you're heavy in the legs, a skinny jean's not going to look that great,
No.
unless you've got a tunic and boots on.
Yeah.
So go for a jean that suits your body type.
Okay.
We can talk about that next week maybe. We'll do jeans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I've got that in line for next week.
All right.
Cool. So jeans first, or good trousers if you're not into jeans, a nice pair of trousers. Go with a jacket. So I've got here, this here is a leather jacket. These clothes are all from Max, thank you very much. And this is a leather jacket, nice unstructured dressy casual look.
Oh, I like that.
And pick that up, a new collection at Max.
Cool.
So just a nice neutral colour too. A couple of tops that can be worn on their own. Now this could look semi-formal if we wore it with the right thing, but with jeans, and if you pop one of these tops underneath it, like this top underneath it, it takes it down a notch to be a little bit more casual. You need a few of these basic tops in your wardrobe. I'm always going on about that, aren't I? But there's a merino one here from Max. These are a good special at the moment, and also this white one. And then you can see there that I also have the checked shirt, which is a really good dressy casual option. It looks great with that leather jacket over the top, even with the merino underneath to warm you up, and a pair of jeans.
You're so good for tips, aren't you? I'm going to guess this is your blog for this week.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
FlairImage.co.nz.
That's the one, yes, of course.
Now tell me about your show this weekend.
So this weekend we have a show at Cashmere High School. We'd love you to come along. It's a great show. We've got 2 halves. The first half is the teens modelling. They're raising money for a trip to Chile. So 5 girls, 5 guys. Great retail. In the second half of the show, we're making over 2 teachers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Fun.
So the teachers, very big secret in the school. Who is it at the moment? So I'm even working with some of them today.
Oh, really? Oh,
So working on that.
exciting.
It's very
so
good.
where can we get our tickets from?
Okay, so you can go to Susie at flairimage.co.nz or ring Cashmere High School. You can ring the office. The number is 3375153. Sorry, that's Heather McCulley's number.
3329129.
That's right, yes.
3329129. So Susie, SUZY at flairimage.co.nz. And that is on the 6th, Saturday
night, yes.
7:30.
Good night out.
Fun.
Lots of prizes. We've got $5,000 worth of prizes to give away.
Oh,
so
really?
be there. Yes, some amazing things.
Oh, sounds good.
Yes.
All right, Stephanie, really good to have you on the program today. Now, that is City Life for today. You can get in touch with us, kaneta@ctv.co.nz. You can call us 3777 033, or you can write to us, PO Box 1100 Christchurch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.